every day. So I would like to see that all members ready to go. And of course, if you are here, say yes in the live chat. Can you hear me? Welcome. And also, before I progress, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So looking at daily, welcome. Hello. Thank you for joining. Chintansu, welcome back to the live session. Welcome. Awesome. So beginning another trading days here that you can see on gold, and starting with first of all monthly. Again, as we discussed in the weekly forex forecast, gold from the monthly, it is bull market that you can see if you look at from here. Starting with this inverted head and shoulder, strong breakout, pullback, breakout, pullback. The market is maintaining this series of higher high and higher low, which is long-term bull market. Now, in that long-term bull market, as we are progressing towards the end of the month, that if you look at, we can see the market is showing strongly bullish at the moment. And in that bull market, if you look at, because this is a long-term bull market historically from the bigger picture, if you look at the monthly price action, this is the monthly candlestick pattern so far, has formed a significantly bullish monthly candlestick pattern here on gold. And with that monthly impulse on gold that we can see, the price is, as we are progressing towards the end of the month, what I think that may see this market to potentially trend back to the upside here. So, which is maintaining typical uptrending market structure. And you can see the price possibly to revert back to the upside, potentially to create a new higher high here. So from the monthly, as we are progressing towards the end of the month here, we can expect the market to potentially, what I think, possibly to retest this monthly high here. And with that monthly high, we can see the price, if you look at the market is pushing back to the upside where there is a new monthly high. If we look at the weekly perspective here that you can see, and with this weekly price action on gold, as we discussed in our previous weekly analysis, this is the weekly low here. And from this weekly low, there is a stronger impulse back to the upside here in that market. And if you look at the overall market structure, the potential for this market now to go bullish is very high because the market managed to break this dynamic resistance that you can see on gold. And with that break of this dynamic resistance, the market is maintaining this uptrending market structure here. So from the daily, we can see the price. This is the daily bullish engulfer. With this daily bullish engulfer, the price here showing up to be daily impulse back to the upside. So today's low, if we analyze the daily market structure, if you guys look at the previous daily price action, it's a strongly bullish impulse here back to the upside in that market. And with that here, this is the daily low and also this is the daily high. There is a significant daily bullish price action that you can see the market to maintain here in that market. So if we look at the 4122 level, guys, this is today's low and the market is maintaining a typical uptrending market structure here. So because the market is maintaining this typical uptrending market structure. If you look at the 4-hour here, we can see that from the intraday or the 4-hour time frame here, this is where there is a stronger breakout, which is one single impulse back to the upside here in that market. So as if you guys looked at this impulse on gold after a long period of time, there is a very stronger impulse, and we had quite a few successful positions that opened in that area. And now what we are looking at the market to come back to this intraday low here, and this is where I'm looking at this market structure potentially to break that low and revert back to the upside here. So looking at the lower time frame here in this market, that the price to potentially, what I think, if you look at here lower time frame, there is a pullback here, and with this pullback, what we can expect here, a possible rejection again, as we see there is a breakup structure on the lower time frame. Now this is what we will be looking at for entry in this market, a breakup structure and then trend. Ready for an entry? Welcome. So as usual, we will be looking at entry from the key level. If you guys are ready for an entry, make sure you like this stream. Did you do that? Thanks for that. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's a lot to take from here, education, analysis, as well as all the content that you need to look at. Welcome, welcome. I think sound is too big, isn't it? Sound is too loud. Let's make it drop here. And what we are looking at this market structure here, the price approaching this support, and that support is important if you look at. And as the market is approaching this support here, support here, support here, this is the lower time frame support the market is approaching, and in that lower time frame support, we can expect the market to potentially break that low here and potentially to bounce back up, as the longer term trend here is bullish that you can see on gold, right? Look at the daily. Now this is what I always emphasize, guys, that when you are trading, look at the bigger picture, look at the trend. Now multiple time frame, the price has just rejected from this daily 20 EMA and also both 10 EMA. Guys, the previous daily move that you have seen, the change of trend was very important. If you are a beginner trader or a professional trader, this is something you can look at. Now you see that, pardon me, our weekly Forex forecast that you have seen, all right, the weekly Forex forecast, this is what I mentioned. Everyone said that gold is going to be bearish. Only here we said that gold is going to be bullish. And you guys see that, the analysis that posted. Now, I got a really great feedback for that, and that's thanks for all this feedback, because we are helping traders to find the best level for an entry, and the market rejected from that level that we expected. Now, did you like that? Make sure you also join the Telegram. You can find link below this video for more update and as well as education. Thank you. Now, what we are looking at next here, what we are looking at here is another entry. Guys, as a trader, always stay hungry, but stay in discipline. That's the right trading psychology, right? Stay hungry, but stay disciplined. That's where you find a balance as a trader. Now, what kind of market structure gold has made here? If you look at, gold has made a reversal pattern. There's an order block has been created here. If you look at, and that price action, this structure that you can see is significantly bullish market structure. All right. So that bullish market structure is potentially to be trending. And look at how the market has created. Thank you very much. salute to you also. I learn all of this from my subscribers and the members. Really, all this education that you guys see, also credit back to the viewers. You guys are making this, right? If you're not there, I'm not here. So make sure we cooperate each other for learning the best way possible. And many of the things, in fact, when I was mentoring my members, students, I learned a lot of things from them, how some of the members, some of the traders that I found really, really great. And that all this experience, again, giving back to the community, right? That's our goal here, is to give as much as to the community, as many traders as we can help in this planet Earth. As it is now coming to 2026, there is a big change coming in everywhere. So trading is a really gateway. The reason we trade on live, so that you guys see that in the live market how I am opening positions, so that you can learn it, because this education is rare, it's not available. So trading means that trading education is really, really difficult to find the right education. So that's why it's open for everyone, so you guys can see the proper way to manage the risk and developing a stronger trading psychology. Welcome. Thanks. And now let's focus on the technicality, as well as we will be looking at the fundamental as well here. Now, so we see that there is some news around the rate cut, right? Which is a big driving force for gold movement. And the previous week, in the beginning of the week, there was a little confusion. And we saw that this consolidation, this pullback on gold, if you look at this daily market structure here, right? This is the daily move, and that daily move that you can see, this move on the daily, this is US government shutdown. That was a pullback of this move as well as here. So they're almost a month, more than a month of shutdown. And that, in fact, was an important pullback for gold that we have seen. Now, with this impulse that you can see on gold, now, where the market is heading, this is the most important question that you need to ask at the moment, because the market has done the pullback. So you can see that this drop and bounce back up, drop, bounce back up. So there are two important structures that you can look at on gold for this potential move in this market. And these two structures that you can see, one is here, all right? This is one, and the other one is here. And both of this structure that you can see on gold is, in fact, if you look at, this is an order block. So two significantly important order block has been tested. Now see this structure starting from here, drop to that level, bounce back here, drop to that level. So basically the market has created this rectangle followed by another rectangle. And in both cases, that what we can see on gold is when the market created this consolidation pattern, the market has broken out. We have seen a proper retest of that resistance. There is an important point that we have discussed. The proper retest is important because let's extend this level here to see where the market is heading. Now, the proper retest means that multiple times the market tested this resistance resistance as a support. And then what happened, if you look at the market has maintained that series of higher low and entirely broken back to the upside in that market. So with this break here that you can see the resistance turns support, the market has broken that resistance, which is starting support here. And when the market retested here in the second rectangle that you can see, guys, it's very important to look at, because once you are correct directionally, you're gonna be really making a good move, because there are two things in trading. There's two things you need to be correct. One is directionally, the other one is entry. The rest is just the risk management and trading psychology, which is very foundational, and you can learn a lot of stuff from the channel that are available. So the first thing is the directionally correct. So once you are directionally correct, then you need to find an entry. Directionally correct, being correct is the most important, because even if your entry is not in the right spot, you still have room for stop loss or deviation, because if you are directionally correct, at the end of that, the market will go to your direction. Even if you are stopped out, you can re-enter again with a different level, as long as you are correct directionally. So directional move is very important. Okay, so if you look at this market here, this is the directional move in this market, right? So, and because the market, if you look at the daily price here, you can see series of higher low. And with this, the market tested this resistance as a support and maintained this series of higher low on gold. So why it is important to look at this series of higher low formation here on gold? Because when you see the series of higher low, that means that the buyers in control in that market. So that resistance turns support series of higher low means that whenever the sellers drop that price, every time there are more buyers in the market. There are more buyers in the market, which is giving a higher possibility for the market to bounce back. And finally, we saw that yesterday's move, yesterday's daily candle is a big milestone for this potential further move. And we could see that eventually this month, that means we have how many days only? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 days, including today's, to market for the market. So Trump want to cut interest rate. Federal members want to, I think rate cut can hold December. Look, this is one of the mysterious thing in trading, if you know that until the news publish, you won't be able to fully comprehend. There are two things, guys. This will look, and that's why I always say that intellectual curiosity makes better trader. Keep in mind that. Always be curious and ask a lot of questions. Let me tell you what it is. Let's say what you need here, a news, an announcement, information, and you need to look at that information from the perspective of the market. So what do I mean by this? Let's say you got a news that this is gonna happen, and then look at the market. Is it reflecting on the market? So let's understand that. Let's say that if the rate cut is certain, how does that impact gold? Gold is gonna be bullish, no doubt about it, right? At least for short term. Because rate cut eventually put pressure on dollar, and that boosts gold because of the inflation risk and many other things that not risk, that inflation might go out of the target, and that can boost gold. So now on Monday, this daily bullish candle, if you forget all the fundamental aspect and only look at the purely technical, this daily bullish candle that you can see here that I have boxed out is a very powerful bullish engulfer, because that daily bull candle has crossed both 10 and 20 EMS. You see that it started from the lower of this 20 EMA and it closed with a full body candle close above 10 EMA. And it's a bullish trend continuation. So if you ask a question, why does that candle has created, who had created? The answer will come that there is volume in this bullish candle. Because when the buyers will buy, the market will go up. And who bought this? Because in gold market, to create such a big candle, you need thousands of millions of dollars to create that bull candle. Okay, so you need a lot of volume in this $1 trillion market to push that price back to the upside. Hundreds of $millions you need to move that. So that means for those who has created this bullish candle, they bought this market, right? That's the institutional trader. Why the now you need to keep asking questions. Then you're gonna go to a point where you started to see a relationship between the fundamental and the technical. Now, if you ask this, why the institutional bought this market? Because there is a possibility of gold go up. Now, reverse effect of gold going up is a potential rate cut, at least for the news perspective. So that's how you can keep track of this move. Now, if the uncertainty happen in terms of rate cut, if the rate holds, at least for short term, we will see that technically the market will go up for this level. If there is a certain rate cut, then you can expect a new all-time high. If there isn't rate cut, you might see the market is ranging in this zone here. Until the next rate cut, we might see some longer range, which in fact from the daily is a big still move. So because this range might take almost 5,000 pip up and down. So now at the moment we see that that's how the market is reflecting the data that you can see. So from that point of view, if you look at the 4-hour chart, now we are going to the purely technical, because we are directionally, we know that there is a possibility for a bullish impulse, as we have seen the market has already created that impulse back to the upside. Now, daily price action here, it's a significantly stronger bullish impulse that we can see on gold. Now, what we are looking at here at the moment is a buying opportunity, because this market is now strongly bullish. So going back to the 15 minutes, now we will be looking at the aspect of the technical perspective. Now, this is today's low. If you look at, the market has created this move back to the upside, and today's low is here and today's high is here. I'm going to draw in the level on the today's high. Therefore, for us to go long, because it's a bull market, and also I'm going to look at the daily open and close here. And here is the lower time frame market structure. So what we look at here in that market from the lower time frame that we can see is, this is the 1 hour 10 EM as well. You can see the market has made its move back to the upside. and where the market is potentially be showing up here. If you look at here, you can see there is an initial bounce and again has broken back below. So this market is showing up to be now on a pullback, and it's a I take sell. Okay, so that's, I'm not gonna sell, but I'm not sure what strategy you're using. But this is a very important point of view, because when you are trading, the most important part here is to look at the market structure. Okay, so you need to look at the market structure for an entry in the market. So market structure is very important to trade the market, because you always need to look at the bigger picture. You always need to look at the bigger picture to trade the market. So if we look at the directional bias in the market, we need to look at the market structure here. All right, so if you look at the price action, this is a support level, and what we look at the break of support and then potential rejection. So this is the current daily. If we look at the daily level, that's what this is, the daily support level that you can see. This is what the market open on the daily. A daily support here that you can see in that area. And in that daily support, what we can expect here, the market to potentially drop down and then reverse back again to the upside. This is the daily level that you can see in this market. And daily support level is that where I'm looking at potential entry opportunity here in that market. So for today's, we are looking at this daily support or this zone here to potential buying. So if the market drop to the daily support with a stronger move, we will be looking at bullish entry back to the daily high, or at least to this mid of this daily level, so which is basically, we can see that around 160p possible if the market drop with a stronger move here in that area. Welcome traders, welcome back to this live session. And as the second day of trading week, we are looking to see significant move in the market and expecting the price to potentially trend back again to the major direction. There's a little lower volume, but before the market move, we can see the market does this. And that's what we are looking at. So we are looking at the daily support to potentially go long. And I'm just putting the level again back on the daily time frame. So here is what you can see the market, especially this level that you can see 4135. This is what I'm looking at for a stronger breakdown. So stronger breakdowns means that you want to see the market is coming to this support, which is also the 4-hour support. So this is also the sessions low that you can see in that market. And what we want to see the market to break that support. If you look at the market to break that support and then to potentially bounce back to the upside from that support, this is what we are looking at this market structure. Now, for that entry, if you look at that support, in this zone here, there is a gap here that if you look at from this daily low to this level around 40 pip gap, if the market drop with one single drop, that means one single impulse back to this daily support, that is where we are looking at entry in this market. Looking at for a break of support and then the market to reverse again back to the upside. And that's what I'm looking at for an entry opportunity. If you look at the 5 minutes, it's now breaking from that support, which is what I'm looking at the market to potentially drop down to this intraday support. Now, this is the daily open where the market open here at this level. And what we are looking at the market to potentially test that shadow, that support, and then to bounce back up. And that's what we are looking at this market. You see there is a rejection coming and we want to see the price properly tested that level, and we can use the pending order. If the market bounce off that level to the upside, we can take this potential move at least for short term here to cross this all this imbalance and go back to 122 pip more possible here in that market. Let the market break below and then we will be using the pending order. I'm a scalper. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Welcome. Now, look, either scalping or day trading, almost nearly there. Now, there is a lot of misconception, guys. When I begin my trading, and now I can get all of this and then cross check. There is a lot of wrong information. So you can be a scalper or day trader. The first thing that when I begin my trading that I have seen that people think that some people only you can be profitable on swing trading or only you can be profitable on day trading. You can be profitable in any kind of trading, right? Prerequisite, two important prerequisite. Number one, you must have discipline and trading psychology, regardless of what kind of trader you are. And scalping is more profitable than anything else if you have this prerequisites, discipline and trading psychology. Because without discipline, it's impossible. Because, it's all about rewiring the brain. in my case, when I traded, even when once I learned that, I became profitable, guys. This is gonna be life changing if you just pay attention here. You see, our brain, anything we do, we create a habit pattern. All right, so it's called the neuro pathway. Anything you do, imagine that first day you ride a bike. I think almost everyone has ride a bike here, car or bike. The first day you rode, it becomes very uncomfortable, very uneasy, right? Because there wasn't enough neuro connection to do that. But once you repeat, even if you fall down, you create an energetic pathway, which is called the neuro pathway. So with the neuron wires together, so you rewire your brain to do that. So once I realize, you know what happened, most traders, why they fail, they manage the strategy, they manage the risk, they apply the strategy. After they lose 2 or 3 trades, they just change the strategy. They deviate from the settings. They say that, okay, I just increase a little bit of risk so that I can get back to where I was, and then I will be again maintaining the risk. So you break that neuro connection. That's where the secret. Regardless of anything, you can't go deviate from your strategy. Then you can become profitable. That's the first discipline. And you can see the market is on the support. Now, what we are discussing about the trading psychology, the market is on the daily support level. And here is what we are looking at the moment for a potential rejection in this market. So let's see. I'm deleting all those levels for us to see the market properly. Here's the 4 hour. There you can see the market is coming to the intraday support, and I think the price is coming to a very important, crucial level here. So we will be using the pending order in case we are entering here after the clear picture that you can see. I took a buy. So it's still not ready yet. We will be using the pending order because the market is still can come back to retest this daily low here, right? It is still can come back to test this daily low, and that's going to be a big stop loss for this smaller range here. What we will be looking at here, the market to deepen and then to reverse back again, and that's why we will be using the pending order for this move back to the upside. So if you look at, this is the current level of support in this market. There is a rejection on the lower time frame, and so we will be using buy stop order here for a possible break to the upside, keeping the stop loss below this swing low here, and looking at the market to potentially bounce back to the high. So we can use a buy stop order so that we have enough room for this market to make sure that it's going back to the upside. And 4139 buy stop using. So $4139.66. stop at 4134.26 and take profit target at 4149.29. So placed a buy stop, and also I've shared the same trade in the premium group, expecting the market to retest and then to return again back to the upside here. Take a buy stop order at 4139.66. So expecting potential rejection from this lower price, we took a buy stop. We place a buy stop order here for this possible bounce back to the upside in this market. As if we look at the market is on this lower time frame support here, and this is where the market may possibly to reject back again to the because this is the daily support. This is what I'm looking at the market to potentially have a possible rejection here to the daily high. The market, if it drop back below to this daily low, it is still we can look for adjusting the pending order again. So there is a break below, and it might drop back below to this, potentially to this daily low, as the price is approaching this daily low here. So daily low here, today's low is at 4122.19. So the previous trade. So looking at here, the market tested this lower shadow, and the buy stop order still is there, and we're looking to see the market to potentially to return back again to the major direction. So here you see some rejection coming up. So there might be some short-term bounce back here, and our pending order is still there, and I'm looking at the market to potentially return back again in the major direction of the trend. So there is an overextension here, and from this daily low, expecting the market to potentially to trend back again to the major direction here. So we are almost nearing to the 1 hour candle close, and from this candle close, looking to see the price to potentially have a possible rejection as the market tested this intraday support level here. Okay, expecting a retest, and so if the market triggers here, we should be able to see possible rejection back above. This is what I'm looking at, the market to go back to that level. Because the market rejected from the daily low, expecting it to go back to the daily high, or at least to 50% of this daily shadow that has created so far. Getting some upside, and would like to see the market to break this swing high here. If we manage to break this high, we should be able to see possible bounce back to 4145. That looking at the market to potentially return that level to this resistance. If it shows bullish bias, then we will be on the trade. And so far, we can see some upside momentum here. and the price is approaching this this swing high here. Some might think of selling, but I'm still on the direction of the trend. So this is the buy stop at 4139.66, stop loss at 4134.26, very tight stop loss. So we have only here 53 pips stop loss. For gold is very smaller. And once the market managed to break out at 4145, we can take some profit here because tight stop loss and moving the stop loss at entry. So there is some lower time frame rejection coming here. And if this one is forming an inverted head and shoulder, we should be able to see possible bounce back to the upside here in that market. Breaking to the upside will be triggering our trade. We see there is an inverted head and shoulder. The market still can have significant bounce back to the upside if the price properly make this, because there is an inverted head and shoulder, and I'm looking at a possible significant break back to the upside here in this market. So if you look at the 4 hour here as well, there is a 4 hour resistance coming, and but I think the market potentially to retest this intraday high, because this is long-term bull market, so upside bias is expected. There's a consolidation pattern here, and this consolidation pattern is important because if it is breaking to the upside, it's looking at the nearest level of resistance at 4145 level, and breaking that resistance will trigger our trade, and we'll be on this for a potential move. In the first move, they're expecting it to go back to around 60 pip. So wait to see how the market is reacting to that level. The price tested the daily support, and Okay, so the bulls look like for me potentially be stronger here. And I want to see that closing as a bullish candlestick pattern. And that's what looking to see the market to possibly to react back to the upside here in this market. Except unless the market prepared for bigger drop. And I think the market is still, there is a possibility here for the bias here. Quite a few long wick dodges, and so it tested the lower part of this low here, and there's a doji. Okay, so if the market is getting having that rejection back above here, that's where we could see the price to go back up to 4145. So the price on the daily support again, and as the market trend is up, looking for possible rejection from this low. If the market rejects from this low, looking at 4145 level, and if the price cross that 4141, will be on the trade for this move back to the upside. If breaks below, it still can break below, and we'll see that where the market potentially be heading in that move. Comfortably lower volume, and that might bring the market. If you look at here, there's a long wick, and so here the price formed this double bottom from the 1 hour low, and welcome. Okay, so this rejection as the market below the daily support, looking at possible reaction back above to the resistance. If it breaks below, we might see that daily low to be tested. Getting some reaction back to the upside here in this market. And so breaking this high, looking at the nearest level of resistance. So if the market breaks this current swing high here, we will be on a bullish trade. So looking to see if the market rejecting back again from this double bottom to create a new higher high. So if successfully the market managed to break this 4139 level, which we might see as the market got a rejection, we are looking at the price to go back to 4145 level. So once the market managed to cross 4145 level, we will be taking that trade partially profit and moving the stop loss at entry in that case, because the market has a lower range here today than a stronger trend. So the possibility here for bullish in that area. So have you placed the pending order? Say yes if you have placed in the live chat with risk management. Risk management is key here. The market is showing possibility to be upside here. How many of you have placed the pending order? So if you place the pending order, two things, guys. Make sure you do the risk management. You do keep the risk low, place the stop loss in the right place. And in addition, smash the like button. So I see the likes is almost 1/5 of the views. So make sure you like this stream so it shows to more people. And also, if you haven't even subscribed yet, you can do so. There is a lot of content that every day that I'm putting on to help the community that will change the way you look at the market. So here is some, if you look at this red candle, if this one is breaking back to the upside here, looking at this market structure to potentially bounce back here. So you see that there is a rejection here, and that rejection is what I am looking at potentially moving back to the upside here in that market. So this break, if this one is a liquidity grab after this move, we could see the next one to bounce back up. If this drop, then we might see breakup support. It created a very interesting structure here. The market still can come back down. So there might be a retest of this lower shadow. Let us see a possible there's a pin bar. Now this pin bar can act as a reversal or it can act as a continuation. Okay, there is a breakout. Again, we see there is a bounce. There's a bounce here from this pin bar and expecting the market to possibly to break this. This is a dynamic resistance that you can see. We're looking at the price to break to the upside here in that market. So with a long week candlestick pattern, looking at how the market is reacting to that, this is now here it's still bearish, but if the market managed to break out, I think the price potentially to create an impulse back to the upside. From a doji, it can break below. So it's on a key support level now. I'm looking to see how the market is reacting to this level. If it is reversing from here, then you could see we will be entering from the peak, so that if the market trend back up, we will be on the trade. There's a 1 hour candle close that you can see here with a red bear candle. The market can still break the low or can go back up to break the high. There's a possible rejection here possible if the market from the 1 hour trying to break that high. Are you going to see a rejection here? What's your thought on that? Share your opinion. Are you going to see a rejection? If the market reject from this support, this is a very crucial level, we could see breakout, but I'm still in both direction. We still can see the market to deepen further, to retest this daily low, and then to return again back. If the market breakout, we might see going back to 4145. 1 hour candle close here, and you can see the market is trying to push that price back above. So 10 EMA, the price has crossed back below, and there is a possibility for we see there is a reversal pattern formation, and that might keep that market back to the upside. If you look at this lower time frame, this is the 5-minute chart, and the price is trying to break that high here. And this is what I'm looking to, guys, to see that if the price is in fact maintaining a new uptrend or breaking further lower here. I think there might be a short-term bounce here, potentially to create an inverted head and shoulder, and possibly to try to cross this high 30 minutes price action that you can see the prices cross this both 10 and 20 MA below, and looking at possible a short-term bounce back to this resistance line 4145 or breaking above. Do you see that? So if we are entering at 4139, looking to see this is an imbalance here around 60 pip for the market to go back in that direction. Looking at break of this trend line. So we are looking at possible again rejection here. The 15 minutes price action that you can see is potentially closing as a, if this one closing as a green candle, there is a higher chance for the market to have a bounce or breakout here in that direction. So you see some lower time frame price action creating here to make that move potentially back to the upside here. And still, until we see the breakout, we are here to look at where the market, what the market is doing in this area. It's a very interesting structure has been created here in that area. And so here is, we see there is a long wick candlestick pattern here. And that long wick is creating a very funny structure here. Before the market actually break out or going for a move, sometimes it creates this kind of structure. And that's where, but if we look at the lower part of this 1 minute candlestick pattern that we can see, it's a so far showing potential bullish. Are you bullish or bearish on gold? What's your thought on this? You can share your opinion in the live chat. I'm waiting to see what the members are doing. So there is a poll that I'm posting. What is your bias on gold? So what is your bias on gold today? Now, it's creating a kind of consolidation with multiple liquidity sweep here in that area. And with a series of higher low. So basically this is a, so far in this area that what we can see, it's a bullish trend continuation structure. And in that bullish trend continuation, expecting the market to go ahead and hit that level, creating a new higher high. So if the market crossed through 4139, we are on the trade, and as long as the market managed to break that to the upside here. So back to back two bullish doji here. And therefore the bias showing still to be upside. We see there is an initial breakout. Now I'm on it, guys, waiting for the entry. So can you say in the live chat how many of you placed the pending order? So the pending order placed at 4139.66. It's a buy stop order. If the market goes up, we'll be on the trade. Yep, that's what you can see. And welcome to this live session. This is the second day of trading week. This is the most important week for this month, and also next 2 weeks expecting increased volatility. That's what you need, as you know, that as a trader, to find the bigger volume in the market so that we can trade the market with high probability setup. And there might be a trigger here. So the stop loss is tight, so the risk has to be low. Now, there is again rejection. And that's what looking to see from the daily low, the price to potentially moving back up here. So lower time frame price action, 1 minute chart showing to be here a reversal pattern formation that you can see. Breaking that high here. Ready for an entry? We are almost nearing to the entry point. What is the entry? Entry buy stop at 4139.66. So I can write as a signal here. I also have shared in the premium group as a signal. Might get an entry here. My pending order is on. Waiting for the breakout. Still few pip for the entry to come in. The stop loss is very tight, so if the market triggers and bounce back to the upside, we will be closing partial and move the stop loss at entry as fast as you can. And I will give a shout out. I know that few seconds delay here, time delay, but anything that I'm doing, you guys will see here on the live screen. So the entry you guys can see on the screen as well. This is my entry. I took only smaller risk, 1%. So here is again, there is a break below, and from the 30 minutes, the rejection here. From the 15 minutes, we see there is a candle open on the 15 minutes. As soon as the candle open, we see there is a bounce back to the upside. Now this candlestick pattern expecting to expand back to the upside to the direction of the trend here. So lower time frame, 5 minutes, that you can see after this candle close is now retesting this previous resistance as a support here. And now this is where the price retested this order block. Now if it holds, if this support holds, then we should see that break back to the upside. If it doesn't hold, we might see that break below. Now depending on, of course, now how the market will react to this support. If we see that it's a strong bullish impulse, then signal, we could see the going back up and breaking that high. Drop the sound here a little bit and waiting entry for a break back to the upside. So our stop loss is just below the order block here. If the market breaks above, we are entered, and then we're gonna look to see that potential bounce back to the upside. I think the possibility here, the market to go to that level, to this 4145, if the market managed to break out. So from our entry, we'll see that this is an imbalance in the market and expecting to trigger and then bounce back to the upside here in that market. We see some upside here. In the meantime, guys, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also press that pop-up button that shows subscribe, so that anything that I'm posting, I do post regular analysis, and also we have many content in this channel for a very long period of time stored, and that's that education that you can use to change your trading completely. So you can do so. Are you on the trade? Yeah, we placed the pending order. No, still not triggered. In addition to that, as you know that we have a premium group where I do share every trade that I'm opening with entry, stop loss and take profit, with proper explanation of the trade as well as the ideas. Also, many other benefits, such as you can use the premium indicators. You can access the course from foundation to the advanced, everything that, you know, that everything comes in trading to become from, if you're a complete beginner to an advanced trader, everything is there from A to Z. So there is 95% off joining on to the academy. You can use the link below this video on the website. Right now you can join before it is ending. Once you join, make sure you check your email, including the junk folder, for all the login details. And if you have any question, you can ask anytime in the website live chat. Are you on the trade? So we place the pending order here, expecting it to potentially to bounce. If it isn't bounce, then we will not be on the trade here. And it's a very interesting market structure is being created. So it need a little volume here, not the music volume, the market liquidity. And let's see that how the market is reacting to this level. Okay, so getting that rejection, that means volume potentially coming in here. There's a possibility 4100. I think gold is bullish and I'm not expecting to go down much here. You see that whenever coming down, the buyers are taking control in this market because it's a bull market. So always today, every trade that I will be opening, buy and wait for the market to break down, come to the support and look for buy, because it's a bull market. Even if it is short term down, it's basically a pullback in the market. So that's why you see that all the entries that we placed is to the upside, to the bullish side. Even if you are wrong in your entry, if you're directionally correct, if you are wrong in the first attempt, you're gonna be right in the second attempt, third attempt. Keep the bigger profit target, manage the risk, and you're not gonna be losing trade at all. So here is the market is little finding it difficult to go back to the upside, and I think that happens when before the market potentially reverse this structure that you can see. If you look at here the 5 minutes market structure, this is a potentially here in that area short-term bullish market structure, and that move could reach 4145, that I'm expecting it to go back to that level, as it's a bull market, and from there it may come back again or it may go up. Today's range that we can see here, this is today's high here at 4155. So big bullish candle followed by a long wick at the bottom, so it's also the bullish bias here in that market. So there is a 15 minutes candle close with a long wick here, and that might bring some liquidity for short-term support test here. The 30 minutes candle close that you can see, and this breakdown that you can see here at the moment could be, you can see there is a buying pressure coming. It's also the liquidity zone, and that might be starting or possible rejection. All right, so there are some up and down. We see there is a 1 minute pin bar, 30 minutes price action. There might be, I think, that break of support. It has entirely broken back below. So if we look at the daily low here, this is the daily low, daily support, and how this price action now creating structure is important to see. It has entirely broken that support here. And it might now come back to retest this daily low here. And breaking the daily low can be an important level that we might be able to even adjust our pending order if the market tests the daily low. Still hit our levels here. The market is now coming potentially back to this daily low at 4122. And that's also that 1 hour 20 EMA. So the possibility that the price to retest and then to react back to the upside is where the higher probability here in that market. That's a complete drop back to this daily low 4122. So once the market dropped to 4122, that is where I'm looking at possibly we can change the pending order here to bring it further lower here as the market breaking to this. This is the intraday support, and chances for the market to have a rejection is very higher here. And this is what I'm looking at for possible rejection back above to the major direction of the trend. Okay, it just has broken the daily low, guys. So we will be opening buy here, okay, buy by market, keeping the stop loss below this low here, below this 4-hour and the 1-hour support, little lower. And this is going to be a buy by market, and expecting the market to bounce back to where we are expecting the price to potentially show up its pattern. If you look at here, it is a bull market and looking at potential bounce. So we will be closing this pending order here, and we will be opening buy market order for possible rejection back to the upside here in that market. So open buy here, and because if you look at this market structure, it is a bull market, and I'm looking at this price potentially to remain upside here, potentially to create a new higher high if the market managed to break to the upside. So you are long on gold, little wider stop loss here, 115 pip, but the risk is same. So I'm deleting the pending order, and it's a market order buy, and looking at initial bounce back to the upside here. Because the price tested the daily low, if you look at, this is the daily low here, expecting it to go back to the daily high. And it's possible because it's a long-term bull market. It tested this key support level. We are long on gold. So my trade is on here, and okay, this moving back to the upside in that area. And this is what you'd want to see, that this is gonna be maintaining a bullish market structure and potentially to go back to the daily high, because the price tested the lower shadow of this. This is a key level of support, and expecting that the market to continue to rise here back in the major direction of the trend, because there is a high, this is a high area of value here. There guys, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. There's a big bear candle that you can see has formed. So the market structure currently, it's on a side. We are running this trade and it'll keep running I'm almost nearly to the end of this session and coming out live with another one in just a matter of 2 hours, guys, for trading the NY session. We are almost follow the trend, my friend. Yes, this is what we are following, the daily bullish trend. I know that this is where we are at. The 15 minutes market structure. Here we saw there was a break below. If you look at the 4 hour and the 1 hour also, this is a bullish market structure. So we are looking at a short-term bounce back to the upside after this initial pullback here in that market. And it's a long-term bull market, so expecting from this daily low, the price to have an upside bias because there is a daily rejection. So I'll keep you updated, guys, on the free Telegram. You can join the free Telegram. You can find link below this video, and also if you're in the premium group, also you'll get an update for this trade shortly after. And also during the NY session, we'll be discussing more in depth about this trade. Make sure you do the risk management, which is very important to look at. The price expecting to have a rejection here. If the market managed to break this current swing high, which is the current resistance level, we'll be moving the stop loss at entry. We'll keep the trade running in that direction. So that being said, thanks for joining, and I'll see you again very soon, guys, with another update, another live session coming in just a matter of a 2 hours time after a short break. We'll trade the news coming up later today, PPI. Get ready for it. It's gonna be a big move coming. Hope they're expecting that bounce. Thank you.